correct scorecard.
You know, back in 2016, over 400 rounds were played. Only one was bogey-free. That was Dustin Johnson. Shot 67 with 15 pars and 3 birdies.
That's Schauffele's second bogey to go with a double, Gary. I mentioned lone birdie on 4, so Xander Schauffele is 3 over par. Number 3 player in the world is 7 off the lead. I'm going to go all the way up to the 16th and check in on Lance Simpson, one of the amateurs.
It's coming off back-to-back birdies and going to the, you know, somewhat scoreable 17th. There is trouble looming, but if you keep it in the short grass, you can make a birdie there as well.
Making his U.S. Open debut. McIlroy on the tee at 4. It's like the third. Church Pew's on the left. And this one is heading right.
Headed right. This is 4 right.
Let's see where that ends up.
Spotters don't even appear like they knew where that one landed.
And they are the stars of this week, too. They are essential to get you around here. Trouble for Rory. 13.
By a stair on the tee.
Up the hill, wind left to right. This is 6-iron, cutting to the right side of the green.
Wants it down. Well, it's down all right. Just catches the primary cut of rough. Have to chip it down the hill toward the hole.
Siwoo Kim has this long putt for birdie of 3.
Yeah, well judged.
Another one of those easy pars at Oakmont.
In the early going, this third hole, the 3rd hardest on the course today. So, par. You're happy. Move on.
Now at the 13th, there you see that whole location being protected by that bunker today.
Yeah, this green changed more than any other green in the restoration.
184 up the hill, a little bit of left to right wind and hurting. Gary, that pin's tucked over there, but you can use a couple slopes to get it close. This is 7-iron for Xander.
Yeah, we're seeing now we've had a couple of shots inside of 10 feet earlier in today's round.
Very high at the right side, not turning over though. Trying to play a sweeping draw in there.
Well, he got a nice kick, but that'll leave a very quick putt. Well, it's not done yet. It'll keep moving down a little closer to the hole high, but the hole is cut down a little low area, so he'll have to putt off the top of that ridge and then down to the hole. Be very quick.
John, you can tell by the reaction after he picked up the golf ball out of the hole with that bogey putt on 12, just how huge that was for Bryson.
No question about it. It's crazy how many times bogeys win you a U.S. Open instead of the dreaded X. This is 8-iron for Bryson. Has played his irons very aggressively today, Gary. This is also at the right side. Needs to turn over or get a kick.
That's okay. That'll work its way down, and the farther it goes down, the less break there'll be on the putt.
So DeChambeau will have a birdie putt upcoming to try to get it back to even par. The defending champion trying to tackle Oakmont.
So what separates the best players in the world is their ability to tap into their potential when it matters most.
Watch this.
Are you kidding?
No doubt it's a new era in golf.
Canada's original roadhouse.
When you don't feel rushed to squeeze in your round, there's plenty of time to play it. And replay it. Come find your island. Prince Edward Island.
Don't forget, there's ultras on the line.
I didn't.
Michelob Ultra, a superior light beer worth playing for.
My Charlie is so adventurous. It makes me think of our ancestors. I discovered on Ancestry they were one of the first Portuguese families in Quebec. Get to know your family story at ancestry.ca.
Check this out. The phone is the key.
Like you, the redesigned Tucson doesn't stop. You got places to go and stories to tell.
Sleeping like a baby. Thank goodness for baby mode.
And with more than 9 out of 10 Tucsons sold in the last decade still on the road, WA keeps you going.
Ranked #1 in client satisfaction among mid-sized banks 13 years in a row. Tangerine, that's forward banking.
If you want to fight, then let's fight together.
What's happening?
Rebellion.
Where he found one of the ditches here that are marked red as a penalty area, but choosing to play out of it and staying in the rough.
I gotta feel like that was a success there. Certainly, maybe not ideal, but there was a number of really, really bad things that could have happened out of that really tall stuff.
And stance issues on top of that for the third page.
Yeah, I was actually a little surprised he didn't just take his penalty in relief, because he's still hitting 3 from here, and it's a mess. Tough lie, ball above the feet, awkward stance. Really, it's about advancing the ball as far as possible on this par 5 as well.
All this ball wants to do is go left.
He's aiming over people.
The rough grabs the hosel, your legs are neutralized.
And he didn't advance it more than 10 or 12 steps.
And Page is right. He might have been, obviously, hindsight's 20/20, but better off just, taking the penalty and getting a decent line advancing it. But, these players, they don't back down. They think they can play themselves out of virtually any situation.
And you might need a 20 here and get a little timeout and kind of regroup, because you're probably going to have to move some people a little bit coming out of the rough with this 4th shot here at the par 5. And a little frustration and a potential big number building here for Rory. Continue to watch 4, move ahead 1 to the 5th.
Might even take a full back there for Rory. Here's Oberg.
Second shot here at 5. Oh, that's in the bunker. Better off than in the rough, but has to land it on a severe downslope. Only 4 paces of green to work with. That'll be a tough up and down.
And so Rory's 4th shot. You see where 4 green is and where he's playing.
Still well over 250 yards to the hole here. And a wedge out.
So he's feeling like at this point, if he could make a 6, like we just saw DeChambeau do a 12, that would be a win.
We'll see if he chooses to play it there. You see the green lines. It's a crosswalk that they use across 4 there. So ton going on there. Meantime, we're back at 6. J.J. Spawn remains the championship leader. Kurt?
Yeah, that's a 7-iron there on the way. It is cutting a little bit. Dangerous hole location on that right side. Wasn't enough club right at it short.
Every player with the exception of Keegan Bradley that's found that bunker today has made bogey.
Those interesting greens. You stand on the tee, it looks like one leg is missing from a table. It just kind of sits to the right and just go, wait a minute.
There's so many shots here that visually keep you off balance that you have to do your homework. You have to trust your numbers and your lines.
Good check in on Bryson.
Shoffley missed his birdie putt. Now Bryson.
Up the hill until about 6 feet short. Then it actually goes over and moves away from him. So got to be a little careful with speed here.
Well judged.
There's a lot of exhaling in the U.S. Open, isn't there, Gary?
Yeah, no question, John. And probably have been a better scenario for him to make a nice, easy, stress-free par after all the struggles on the prior hole. He's got the short par 4 coming up. I'm sure he'll probably hit driver and get it right in front of the green. Have a real chance to get the shot back.
As we go back to McIlroy.
And Page, 5th here at the par 5.
Yeah, he's choosing not to take relief from this walkway. He's got a fine lie, excuse me.
He's got to be running hot, Paige.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And you can see Harry Dinan throwing up some grass. This is the most wind that we felt all day. Just picked up a touch back into his face. 182 hole.
182 for his 5th at par 5.
Yeah, has got to land this a little bit short of the hole. Try and measure the run out.
So Rory will come across the green here to try to make a bogey, and we watched DeChambeau and Rory trying to fight on par 5s to make 6s. Welcome back to the U.S. Open.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by Golf Town. From top brand equipment to thoughtful gifts, this Father's Day, find everything you need to make Dad's Day unforgettable.
When we first got married, you went from this simple life to now 5 of us.
All their expenses for schooling, skating, and even our vacations. So it's really important to have a financial advisor. You need help in some of these investment areas.
Our financial advisor really helped us plan for the future and pass it on to the next generation.
You don't need to do it all on your own.
With diabetes, progress is knowing how my food choices impact my glucose. The Freestyle Libre 2 sensor tracks my glucose in real time. Confident choices for more control of my life. For me, this is progress. Talk to your doctor.
Put us in a box. Go ahead. That just gives us some. In the next generation GMC Terrain AT4, what we choose to challenge, we challenge completely. We are professional grade.
He became the director of his life, and Exotica, an extraordinary travel crafter, made it happen. Start planning the life you want to see flashing before your eyes at Exotica.com.
Gordon Ramsay's Secret Service, Wednesday at 9/10 Mountain on CTV.
Only Crave brings you the next great animated series for adults, starring Kobe Smulders
You just pissed up the wrong maple tree.
and Will Arnett. Super Team Canada, let's roll! Only on Crave.
Maybe it's time to get with the game, get a handicap index, play and compete with anyone, anywhere. Sign up today at usga.org/get-a-handicap. We said Rory was 180-something yards for this 5th shot at a par 5. A lot of double-digit handicaps were going, hey, That's a conversation I've had on the golf course often. But there it was in a ditch, chooses to try to play out, tough lie, back in the rough, number 5 to there, and now 31 feet Noda for a bogey.
Yeah, and not just that, Mike, but just trying to keep your wits about you. I mean, he's certainly not out of this golf tournament. He's proven that he can come back at the Masters from making a number of double bogeys. This guy, if anybody in the field can come back from this, it's this guy. What's he looking at here, Paige?
Well, I think that's a great point, Noda. And honestly, this was one of the best approach shots that he's hit today as it relates to placement on the green. He couldn't have gotten overly aggressive with this whole location where it is from the distance he hit it. So he's got as good a look at bogey from this distance as possible.
Trying to save 6. Big save by McIlroy.
And that's another one, Mike. DeChambeau and now McIlroy, the difference makers.
And the ability to dig deep. And you saw the make percentage, 7% the make percentage from 31 feet. So, you know, when on demand, the best can dig the deepest.
I think it's less than that when you're running hot under the collar. Right? I mean, Paige brought up a great point. Still played a very tactical shot on that 5th shot from 182, knowing that he was most likely going to walk out with trouble, but then pulls a rabbit out of the hat and has to be a little bit energized after that.
So big bogey save for McIlroy to even par and tied for 9th. We'll move over to the 9th.
Noah Kent putting for his par.
Yeah, lengthy putt. Man who was the runner-up in the U.S. Amateur. And that is really well judged. Oh, look at this. Whoa, you got to be kidding me. Noah Kent's headed to the University of Florida to play his collegiate golf, and he's got the assistant coach at the University of Florida, Dudley Hart, former PGA Tour player and winner on the PGA Tour, caddying for him this week.
Can't believe it took you this long to get in a Florida Gator mention.
I was like, where's the Go Gators?
Wow.
Come on.
Okay, I mean, you know, we're supposed to be impartial.
Yeah, that's fine. 6th, and J.J. Spawn, our leader in the bunker off the tee, it's par 3.
We've talked about how difficult it is to get in close proximity from that bunker right of the 6th.
He'll have that to stay alone atop, depending what Woodland does at 12. Just didn't catch the right edge.
Did not put a great roll on that. The first about 1.5 feet, that ball was bobbling a little bit.
First bogey drops back to 2 under par. Take a look at Bunker Cam presented by Deloitte. Phil Barbary there in the bunker at number 8, playing his 2nd shot.
Trying to come back to this short-sided hole location, and you can see with that release, tried to clip it and put a little bit of extra spin on it, but just did not take it.
26-year-old, college at LSU, he's from Shreveport. Missed the cut in the 2019 U.S. Open. Taking part in his 2nd U.S. Open, making it through qualifying. 9.
Tristan Lawrence is going to drop at least 1 shot here at 9.
Uh-oh.
No, going to be 2.
Was right all the way. And this 9th hole, as I mentioned earlier, Steve, number 1 in difficulty so far in this opening round.
Just gobbles up so many players as we send you back 3 holes.
Yeah, one of the few who has not made a bogey, has a tough 15 or 16 feet here.
He's going to go hard right.
Oh, come on. Yeah. J.J. Spawn stays bogey free. Seen a couple of really good saves the last hour from Spawn.
Putter's really serving him well. Did not putt well toward the end of last season. Put this new blade in at Sony, and it stayed true.
Leads by 2 to the 5th.
DeChambeau, then Rory, then JJ for a par save. Can Oberg do it?
Oh, almost. But remember, the 2nd shot was in the right green side bunker with nothing to work with. Ended up with a 30-foot putt for par.
And he is now 0 for 3 today in sand saves. One of the new additions here to Oakmont from the restoration from Gil Hands to flatten out those bunkers, and it's giving the players fits early on.
me, please welcome the PGA champion.
Major championship pressure is what they've all signed up for.
If you're a fan of the game, you want to see great players, you want to see excitement.
It is here, and it is happening now.
Good strike here.
You're kidding me! And you believe it?
What a bad break.
Welcome to the final round.
Got a great lie off his drop.
Not bad, not bad.
Unbelievable.
What a finish.
Now that's what #1 in the world does.
Whatever you want to make it. With the standard hybrid new 2025 Ford Maverick.
Sponge towels. Nothing absorbs like it.
Dry, long day at the office staring at screens. Digitize? Sustain Complete creates a lubricating layer that temporarily locks in moisture for dry eye symptom relief. Moisturize.
Banks are making mortgage rates make sense.
That's what TD Mortgage Direct is here for.
Mortgages? Let your Uncle Sal explain things. I'm good with TD. I'll be over here knowing things. Right by the snacks. TD. Ready for you.
Make this Father's Day moment special with a DQ Blizzard cake.
I know how hard coming home can be.
I can't believe they kept this from me. I'm starting to think Maggie's missing medicine more than she's letting on. I haven't felt this way about anyone. Guess I wasn't the only one running for monsters.
I just don't want to take a minute with you for granted.
I'm scared of losing myself.
I need you to give me a chance. Give us a chance.
An all-new Sullivan's Crossing, Sunday on CTV. Stream next day on Crave.
Ship with American Express, we're giving viewers a look inside the Amex Card Member Club with Tony Finau here at the 125th U.S. Open Championship. Amex is proud to powerfully back their card members at the U.S. Open, where, when you're with Amex, you can get the most out of the action. Card members can shop a special release of U.S. Open merchandise available only in the American Express Card Member Club. Perhaps a sampling of a frozen transfusion mocktail. They can also create a Father's Day postcard for Dad, and more. Just another reason why the U.S. Open is better with Amex. Tony Finau featured there, part of the afternoon starting times. He plays at 1:58 with Mackenzie Hughes and Chris Kirk. The afternoon starting times begin at about 45 minutes. Great ride across the top here. One of the other practice putting greens, and then the big merchandise tent. Some nice seating for folks to watch on the big screen. Just a great setup for the fans here at Oakmont. Carved into these beautiful hills of western Pennsylvania. You see the diminishing number of players in red figures, just 7 under par right now. Bryson DeChambeau playing his second at the 14th after hitting it way down there off the tee.
Yeah, beautiful tee shot. This ball going to run just a little bit forward on him. Nice job there.
Chance to make birdie at one of the 4 holes that played under par the last time the Open was here about a decade ago. We go to 5.
McIlroy.
Another hole where you can't see the landing area, so you have to pick a target in the distance. Those players will lay up with either an iron or hybrid off the tee at this short par 4. That stays in the left side of the fairway. Great angle to the right hole location.
We head up to the 11th, and Lonto Griffin trying to join those guys in the red.
Big swinger to the left here. Yeah, nicely done.
And now there are 7 under par.
Siwoo Kim, one of the two in the morning wave without a bogey. Down there in 2 at the par 5. Nice third, so Siwoo's going to have a look to get to 3 under.
Yeah, he's had a couple nice looks. Had that good look at 2, was unable to convert. And now another good one here. So just plodding along, staying out of any major trouble. Is kind of what you have to do, because it is around every corner, as we just saw with the last group that came through this hole in McIlroy.
Four-time winner on tour, 9th U.S. Open for Siwoo Kim. We're going to go over to check in on Jackson Coyvin again. The amateur playing his second shot here.
Coming up the hill, this is the strength of his game. He is a wonderful iron player.
Coyvin, back-to-back SEC individual champion. One of 3 men to do that. Oh, that's going to be a tough one. It takes a hard bounce, but you can see the ball. Phil Hancock, one of the others to do that, 75 and 76. I don't know who this Gary Koch. How do you pronounce that?
I don't know that guy.
Gary,
hey.
Gary like Jackson.
Oh wait, well, it's our guy here.
Back-to-back SEC individual champion. Jackson not happy with that shot there. We'll see his short game, but prestigious companies, some of the best in the history of the SEC. Mr. Koch, Mr. Coyvin.
Gotta love a Gary Koch mention from Mike there.
You know, that was a long.
Justin Rose now at 5.
Yeah, out of the first cut, tough angle from the right side to a right hole location. Probably looking at 10 feet left of this hole. Once it lands, it will move left.
At the 7th, man from South Africa, Jacques Kruiswijk.
Beautiful shot in here. Got it onto the upper level of this green where the hole is cut. Yeah, there we go.
Now that's a U.S. Open reaction from someone who's trying to make a birdie at Oakmont. His first birdie at a U.S. Open. Congratulations in his championship debut to Jacques.
Come up to the 18th green, and birdie putt for Lagergren.
Coming up out of the low point here. Keep the speed up and you got a shot.
Make it. He'll come from Sweden, the 33-year-old who has a DP World Tour win about half dozen years ago in Sicily, making his U.S. Open debut. He qualified over in England, by the way. 5.
Page said that it was going to be a good angle for Rory's second at 5.
That is. Let's see if he can take advantage of it, and he does not. Carries the ball way too far. Total misjudge of the distance.
Let's go all the way to the other side of the course now, 14.
Locked in, Bryson for birdie. Woody?
Up the hill, moving slightly to his left. Just got a good read from Ballesteros' putt.
Felt like it was coming left the whole way, and just a little bit too much bar on that for Bryson. It happens. We misread a few from time to time. I mean, we expect perfection. But sometimes the calculations are just a little bit off.
3 bogeys, 2 birdies. 1 over and 5 back. Spawn and Siwoo, as we said, without bogeys. Siwoo, chance to make a birdie and get within 1.
Not a great effort there. Really in a prime position. See, coming up just a little bit of slope. Could have taken some breakout and added some speed, but
just saw the whole location there at the par 4. And Kurt, here comes the leader, JJ Spaun, coming off another really good par save.
Incredible. He's had a number of those today, which really have kept this round going. That whole location you saw here at 7 is really tough to get to. It's up on a little plateau, a real low area just in front of it. It's going to be tough for him to get it close with his 6-iron. Out to the left.
So safely on.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's not as good as he would have liked, but hey, it's a green in regulation at Oakmont. That's a real good thing.
Yes, it is. Tracer technology being brought to you in partnership with Rolex. Let's see what's going on at 15, and Bryson DeChambeau with that huge gallery all around him on the tee.
One of those blind tee shots. You can see some flags up by the green, but you cannot see where your ball is landing. Wind is straight left to right now, and that fairway kicks hard left to right as well.
He gets it started up the left. Is it going to be far enough right, or is it going to catch the bunker?
Tough to tell.
Yeah.
Boy, John, that camera angle from behind the tee there at 15, it looks like a bowling alley for those guys. Look at that.
Yeah, it's one of those almost, you heard of infinity greens where you don't see anything behind it. This is an infinity fairway. Just disappears. And Xander now showed his first bit of frustration on that last hole from 83 yards. Didn't hit a good wedge.
Well, just some 26% of the drives are finding the fairway here at 15. That's how difficult a driving hole it is. And
that was less than driver.
Yeah, well, that's a smart play. At least it kept it in the fairway.
Well, we've been talking about it a couple of times. The Open Championship live on NBC USA and streaming on Peacock is where the greatest golfers in the world take on the unrelenting elements of Northern Ireland in pursuit of the Claret Jug. The Open, July 17th to the 20th on NBC USA and Peacock. Cannot wait to get back to Royal Portrush.
The players certainly experienced some of those conditions when it was there the last time.
Oh, yeah. It's a cool spot, Mike.
It's one of the best. Oberg back to level as that par putt misses on the right side.
The golf course is starting to wake up a little bit,
no doubt.
Mike. Winds have picked up. It's drying out, but mostly the wind is just unsettling with club selection.
5.
Now McIlroy, after the mistake with his second.
Yeah, he'll have to play about 7 or 8 feet of break here coming off that shoulder right there. And then it's all about judging the speed. And he's going to be left with another one of those 3 or 4 foot par putts.
Those are the kind of par saves that will grind on you mentally.
Among the amateurs, Evan Beck, 34-year-old from Virginia Beach, who is the winner of the Mid-Am. Has a moment here in the Open.
Oh, that's a keeper right there. Nice guesswork on the lie. Beautiful execution.
Get one birdie on the board as the Mid-Am champ played in the Masters, missed the cut, making his U.S. Open debut.
Just a wonderful experience for these amateurs. Not a big chance to win, but certainly come in here and get some great experience.
34-year-old played his collegiate golf at Wake Forest. 5.
Justin Rose to get a little closer to even par.
Uphill turning left. And again, his speed has just been off today. Races that well by.
Now at the 13th, Gary Woodland trying to remain 2 under.
Yeah, this short putt will have some movement to it. Yeah.
All of a sudden, people other than J.J. Spahn, guys are starting to retreat just a touch.
Yeah. Nola said it well. Oakmont is waking up. When you get greens at this speed, Steve, just the slightest of slope creates a lot of break on the short putts. I mean, there are often times where you have a 3, 4, 5 foot putt where you're playing the ball off the hole, and that's uncomfortable for a player.
Just 7 players now under par as Shane Lowry lines this one up at 5.
Well, here's a good example. This ball will move hard to the right. Oh, and that one doesn't.
The frustration kicks back in for Shane. Look at that. No birdies on the card. He does have that hole out at 3, but is yet to make a birdie thus far. Justin Rose taking a long look at this one.
Yeah, he should be a little speedy from above the hole here. It's just been such a difficult day on the greens for Justin Rose. Everything feels like a 40-foot putt when you're not making them. And he's missed quite a few short putts.
At the 17th,
Kevin Bella with his third.
Yeah.
Where we saw Shane Lowry chip in from this position for par. It's obviously the place to be.
Well done there by Kevin.
Good comeback after a bunch of bogeys there on the front nine.
Now, McIlroy, we talked about the stress these putts continue to put on players, and McIlroy's had a few of them lately here, Paige.
He has, and he stepped up for the most part, especially on that last hole, making the putt of length. Don't want to see one slide by when, again, he put himself in great position off of the tee. I don't know if you could have dropped it in a better position. Poor wedge shot, and then now just cleaning it up for par would be big.
That's okay. McIlroy stays at even par as we throw it over to Mike.
Steve, thank you. 5.5 hours into our coverage. 13.5 hours here on day one as we join you at noon Eastern time, 9 o'clock on the West Coast at Oakmont Country Club, hosting its 10th U.S. Open, more than any other club, the 125th playing of the U.S. Open. Temperature approaching 80, supposed to get up into the mid to upper 80s later on this afternoon. Warm, steamy early June day. As for what's been happening on the golf course, Notah McGay, the story has been right from the start. J.J. Spaun, who is 4 under par and leading by 2.
He's really played himself out of some very tough situations. You can barely see the tops of his shoes out of that deep rough, which is just a good indication of what players are facing.
That was his first hole of the day. So often the U.S. Opens are at the pars you save, and two of the biggest names out there right now have done just that. Bryson DeChambeau saving a bogey on a par 5.
He was facing some major disaster there, and that putt just bailed him out.
That happened from off the green. He knew he was fired up. He had 3 wedges around that green, and then Rory McIlroy, who drove it into one of the ditches, played out, trouble with the rough from 31 feet to save bogey.
Another huge effort here, and had to feel a little bit energized after a very difficult hole.
So McIlroy at the moment at even par, DeChambeau at 1 over par. J.J. Spaun sitting on the lead at 4 under. Siwoo Kim and Thomas Dietrich, the others at 2 under. We have a quartet of players at 1 under, and then the rest of the group at even or beyond the average score right now. And half the field is getting close towards the end of their opening round. The average score is right around 5 over par. So we're seeing the difficulty of Oakmont once again show itself. There was a stretch there early this morning where you go, wait a minute, where are all those pluses that we thought we'd talk about? People were talking about, I'd sign for 2 over or 3 over to win the tournament. The cut might be 10 over. Now we're starting to see a little bit of why people were saying those types of things as we get the week started.
Well, and those pluses are coming, Mike, I promise.
You're seeing them as you go deeper into the leaderboard. Let's go back over to the 7th hole, and J.J. Spaun
trying to add to his lead.
Well, that needs to go a little bit. It's going to wander off to the right. Okay, not bad. Again, pretty much a stress-free par.
And at 15, second shot now for Bryson DeChambeau.
I'm going to have to play a big hook around one of the many church pews on that. And 15 players have played from that bunker so far today, Steve. Only one has managed to hit the green, and that goes into the very long rough on the other side.
That went from bad to worse for Bryson. 6.
And the players had a good year on tour. Andrew Novak, long birdie attempt across the green.
A wonderful stretch of golf early in the year, knocking off his first win.
There you go. Gets Novak to 3 over par. It's nice to see birdies because we're not going to see many of them as the week goes on, at least not as many as we normally do. So you said Oakmont's waking up a little bit. What does that mean to the golfers? And what would you think if you were one of the guys who's going to go and starting a half hour, the afternoon wave, after watching some of the action here this morning?
Well, in a nutshell, Mike, about 10 or 15 minutes ago, we had 14 players in the red. Now there's about 7, so it's been cut in half. The winds are picking up, the course is firming up, and if I were one of the players in the afternoon wave, I would have been watching all of this golf, just trying to see the subtleties that are happening and all the little bounces that they may be presented with as they work their way through their own rounds.
And what would be the lesson that you would take away from watching compared to the first 3 days of preparing?
Well, I think first and foremost that everybody's going to make mistakes. You're going to go out there, you're going to make some bogeys. J.J. Spawn is having a banner day today, but everybody else has seen some sort of trouble, and so you got to be able to process it, forget about it, and then focus on what's in front of you.
And one of the headline players in that afternoon wave includes Scotty Scheffler off of his 3 wins, including the PGA Championship a month ago. All that still to come. We go back to 50.
And a headliner in his own right.
DeChambeau with his 3rd out of the long rough. Good news for him. The green runs from kind of the left side to the right, and the pin is in the back portion of the green, so he's got room to let the ball release coming out of the rough. Plays a reasonable shot. Have a chance to save par.
To 6.
And Justin Rose on the tee of this 204-yard par 3.
And difficult hole location today to really get aggressive with. Players likely going to play it out to the left. If it falls to the right, all the better. But in this right corner, and you cannot miss it right.
58 have played it, 6 have made birdie.
You could hear Rose immediately did not like that. And may not opt for a drop there. Caught a pretty decent lie in that heavy rough.
7.
Second shot upcoming for Ludwig Oberg.
We have seen some good shots here to this back right hole location. See if Ludwig can pull one off. Yeah, there we go. If it stays, there's a slope right there. Oh,
it's trying to trickle.
Okay.
Might want to do the McElroy sprint.
Yeah, but it's a long way, 172 yards.
There's a cool look at 6, Mike.
Yeah, just those beautiful square tee boxes taking you back to 204 today with that back right hole location. Lowry now, Paige.
Excuse me, Mike. Yeah, players taking a look at the flags at some of the grandstands to try to get a read on this wind. It's been southwest, but looking to move a little bit just out of the west. Which for the players, left to right, and with Shane's fade, this on a good line if it's got enough.
And it does not, Paige, it does not cover the bunker closest to the hole, and players have not fared too well. Don't know if it came back or hung up in tall stuff, but players have not fared well from that position on this green complex.
And now Rory.
Those were not too good visuals. And again, likely just aiming 15 feet left of this hole. That would be a wonderful position to leave the ball. Give himself an uphill putt for birdie.
If he's feeling good about his swing, he will try and cut this back up into this hole location. See where he's at mentally, Paige, with the shot shape he tries to put on this.
That's a good point. More freedom you have, the more willingness you will to work it. But a little bit confused by the wind now.
Well, it has picked up just slightly in the last half hour.
Heard Harry say straight across. 4 par 3s, 3 of them playing over 200 yards. This one 204, and in 2 holes the 8th plays 276 today.
See the wind gauge there, a little help off the left.
Had a little sawed off pull.
And that is left. That's quick in transition, face shut at impact, and plenty of green to work with. It'll all be dependent on the lie he catches.
Just the 3rd ball to find that little small bunker there.
Might have some stance issues. We'll wait for Paige to get up there and assess. But decent lie, so should be able to get something if you get his stance settled.
Eighth hole, the other long par 3. Leader by 2, J.J. Spawn.
Seems to be watching this one with some intent. Only 12 players have hit the green today. Let's see if this stays on. If he could be 13. Lucky number 13. Yes, it is. Anytime you can hit that green, that's a great shot. Because it's length and precision required to find the putting surface.
4 under par. You get a chance to shoot something around 66 if you can make 2 pars on the way. And we had a trio of 65s in the 2016 U.S. Open played here. Quite something from Spawn so far. 50.
Bryson DeChambeau trying to keep it together here.
Yeah, this one's speedy down the hill. I don't think it'll move that much right, though.
Looks like he's going to go back to 2 over.
Yeah, errant tee shot.
14.
Gary Woodland for par.
Knocked down a number of key par saves today. Gets another one there.
And stops the bleeding after back-to-back drop shots at 12 and 13. So Woodland remains at 1 under, and that's good enough for 4th position right now. J.J. Spawn, a couple of pars away from 66 on day 1 at difficult Oakmont Country Club.
How do we measure performance? Not just with numbers, but by kilometers ahead. Memories made with horsepower. Goosebumps, not road bumps. Accelerated moments. Powerful and peaceful. And that surge of adrenaline kicking in. This is you. This is us. This is Audi.
In golf, the biggest gains come from the finest margins. And with 33 unique loft and lie settings, Future Fit 33 means you're dialed in before you even step on the tee. Dial in your speed, dial in your distance, dial in your control. Unlock your best golf with our fastest, most fittable driver. Introducing DS Adapt from Cobra Golf. Dial in the game.
Experience decking done differently with mineral-based Surestone technology from Decorators. Designing a one-of-a-kind space is easy with more than 35 color and size combinations. Plus, our water-resistant decking stays cooler in sunlight while providing up to 34% better traction than other leading brands. And since Surestone technology is made with crushed stone instead of wood fibers, it's durable. So durable, it's backed by our 50-year structural limited warranty. The numbers don't lie. See for yourself at Decorators.com.
Hiding muscle and joint pain behind a smile? Voltaren can help. Voltaren contains a clinically proven anti-inflammatory that penetrates deep to relieve your pain and reduce inflammation. Voltaren, the joy of movement.
Buying a car is kind of a big deal, and you deserve something you love, because it's where big life things happen, and little ones too. This is your car, and sometimes your office. Whoa, it's okay. We're good. And you're going big places. Wait, where are you going? At Car Gurus, we get it. With deal ratings and a massive selection of vehicles, we make sure your big deal is the best deal.
Where are we going?
Who's the driver?
There she is. The rookie who thinks she can take down the Southwest Al Capone.
Hold it. You don't get to where Saxton is without leaving a trail of bodies.
Sax didn't kill my brother.
What if he did?
No, kill